I would now like to call upon the Ministry of Tourism to come forward and present their budget. Preet Uday Singh and team, please come forward.
Yes, ma'am. Can you please allow share screen for the PPT?
Who is going to present?
I am going to present, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So I think I have given you rights, okay?
Ma'am, actually, I am going to present, but the screen share authority is with Jasleen.
Jasleen, okay, just a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Jasleen, you can share your screen now.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, let me know when we could start.
You can start right now.
All right. So, good morning, Parliament. We are members of the Tourism Ministry. My name is Preet Uday Singh. Today, I, on behalf of the Ministry of Tourism, along with my junior ministers, are going to present the budget for financial year 2023 and 24. Honorable Speaker, tourism is considered to be an economic bonanza. It is multi-segment industry. India showcases a variety of tourist options, which includes ecological tourism, pilgrimage tourism, adventure tourism, and medical tourism. It contributes to the generation of national income, expansion of opportunities, rising of tax revenue, generation of foreign exchange. The tourism sector in India generated rupees 16.91 lakh crores. That is 9.2% of India's GDP in 2019. And it has supported around 42.67 million jobs, that is 12.7% of the total employment in the country as well. It demonstrates the importance of this sector in the economy of the country. The travel and tourism sector suffered a lot during the pandemic, but now the time is to revive. India will be the fastest growing tourism industry over the next decade. For this, our government has brought many new plans and projects that will lead to tremendous growth in the tourism sector. If we focus on the statistics, the tourist data has generated 9.55 billion US dollars in the first half of the year 2022. In the previous year, 21.21 million foreign tourist visitors in India as compared to 17.91 million in the year 2019. This showing the growth of tourism industry. Beside this, 17 million international travelers and 2.3 billion domestic tourists visit contributed to the income and employment in the country. This will also help in bringing down the current account deficit. Now, my junior partner, Jasleen, will present the allocation of budget, tourism budget. Over to you, Jasleen.
Keeping the importance of this sector in mind, the tourism budgetary allocation has been set aside 2,400 crores for the financial year 2023-2024, which includes 108.51 crore for the establishment expenditures, 1,412 crores for central government schemes and projects like Hindustan Yatra to develop theme-based tourist clusters on the principles of high tourist value, competitiveness, and sustainability. 250 crores for pilgrimage like Bharat Ki Ek Jhalak. The objective of this scheme is to identify and develop pilgrimage and heritage tourist destinations. 1 crore to loan guarantee schemes to COVID-affected tourism service sector. We will provide up to 10 lakh each for Ministry of Tourism, approved travel and tourism stakeholders, and up to 1 lakh for each regional level guides approved by Ministry of Tourism. 242 crores for promotion and publicity. This ministry has been working on two-pronged strategy for marketing of brand Incredible in India. Promotional activities in some of the markets such as Spain, China, France, etc. are undertaken in vernacular languages. Various activities for promotion of domestic tourism and spread of social awareness messages are undertaken. Campaigns were launched in electronic and print media in India to promote important tourist products of the country. Campaigns were also initiated to promote Northeast region and Jammu and Kashmir as tourist destinations. 105 crore to training and skill development. Under the scheme capacity building for service providers, the Ministry of Tourism has in place a major program titled Hunar Se Rozgar Tak to train youth who are minimum 8th pass and above the age of 18 years. The program is intended to meet the skilled manpower requirement of the sector, as also to reach out to the poor in the society to give them employable skills. The next scheme is 229 crores for assistance to central agencies grants to state governments, safe tourist destination for women. Over to Prabir.
Our vision is to contribute our share to make India a $5 trillion nation in the next 25 years. We believe to take up foreign tourists to 100 millions and domestic tourist visits to 10 billions. Plan to provide employment to approximately 15 crores directly or indirectly. To increase the number of tourist destinations, to improve the infrastructure at tourist destinations, and to encourage private investors to join hands with the government to develop the tourist sector.
Our new schemes include Hindustan Yatra. With an integrated and innovative approach, at least 50 destinations will be selected through challenge mode. In addition to aspects such as physical connectivity, virtual connectivity, tourist guides, high standards for food streets, and tourist security, all the relevant aspects would be made available on an app to enhance students' experience. For this, we need rupees 200 crore. Bharat Ki Ek Jhalak. Under this scheme, we will encourage people to witness and experience the rich heritage and vivid culture of India. It aims to push people, especially the middle class citizens, to travel broadly in India rather than fly abroad. It will expand employment prospects in the tourism industry and also boost the country's economy. This was launched as an appeal by the Prime Minister to the middle class to prefer domestic tourism over international tourism. For this, we will need rupees 500 crore. Now we are open for the questions.
I would now like to call forward the opposition team, Diptesh Kumar, to ask their questions.
Yes, my question. Can I ask question?
Yes,
Yes, sir,
yes,
you
sir, you
can
can ask.
Yes, my question is that how would you like to explain that in the southern region of the India, how in the Kerala region, how India is growing in that sector? Means in that place of point of view when people from the abroad they are coming for doing their health and medical checkup, how you are focusing on that place in the budget?
Sir, just to be clear, I would like to rephrase your question once. So you basically mean that how is the tourism schemes are going to affect the southern part of our country, right?
Yes, in the southern part in the Kerala, we see that in the Patanjali, in that means in that area only Ayurvedic treatment is high. So how you do like to develop that sector for the people who are coming from the abroad?
All right, sir. So we've mentioned in our whole presentation about Bharat Jodo Yatra. Bharat Jodo Yatra basically has the foundation of our cultures, of our roots, and our culture and our roots are basically connecting to the superior power and having Ayurveda as a hugest medicinal remedy. All right. So in that, we'll highly promote the thing which you are mentioning about Ayurveda treatments, about organic treatments, and for the other part, the most of the temples and most of the holy places of our country with huge respect are found in the southern part. So we currently do not think that any part of tourism will be unaffected when it comes to the southern part of our country. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Any other questions?
No.
Would anyone
All
else
right,
like to
thank you.
come forward?
May I ask one question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah,
All
yes.
right.
Go forward.
Yeah,
Akshi.
Nilesh, go.
Okay. So basically, I wanted to ask that. I'm sorry, just a second.
Ganesha, you can ask, please.
Ganesha, please
Yes.
unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm sorry, I had a network issue. I couldn't hear you. I just wanted to ask two questions basically. What
All
are your
right.
plans regarding the tourism related to the middle class or the lower middle class, especially talking about the pilgrimage tourism that we have? Because India is a diverse country, and you might have noticed that the pilgrimage sites are the most attracting to even the tourists from abroad as well as from the country.
All right, I get your question, but the thing is that if we compare it to the international standards, I don't think India needs to do anything as such to promote its pilgrimage places, because it is already a country with such a huge diverse culture. And for the point of your low and middle class,
I think you did not understand my question. I would like to
could you
repeat my
rephrase
question for you.
it again?
What about the status of the cost? Yeah, that is what I am doing. So I just wanted to ask, what about the cost reduction on the pilgrimage tourism? Because there are so many people from the lower middle class of the country as well as from the lower class of the country who want to visit these sites but cannot do due to financial issues.
Can I answer on behalf of him?
Yeah, sure. Go forward, please.
Okay.
Anyone?
So basically, pilgrimage, one is to identify and develop pilgrimage and heritage tourist destination. Government has also subscribed to and has introduced many new schemes like Bharat Ki Ek Jhalak and Hindustan Yatra to continue and to help the middle class or lower class, as you say, to travel. So yeah, government has basically introduced new schemes for that.
Okay, I get it. The second point I want to keep forward is, what is your thoughts about the loss of our culture and tradition due to excessive tourism in the country? Because India has been a site for tourism since so many years. Even 2 to 3 centuries ago, there were so many people who wanted to visit India, who wanted to see the culture and tradition of the country. So there has been so much loss of the tradition. We have forgot the roots of our tradition, the basic meaning of the tradition of each area. Take it as Punjab, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, any side you go, there has been diverse changes.
Okay, can you please make it clear what you're asking in like a sentence, if that's possible?
Yeah, I am asking, what about the loss of that tradition? What are your views?
Can I answer?
Yeah, sure,
Yes,
go ahead.
sure.
I think the culture and the tradition still exist. If we talk about Punjab itself, we can take Golden Temple as an example. Each day, every day, a lot of people go there with beliefs and with their own heart. And I think a lot of tourists as well come there specifically for the culture and the religion. So I don't think it's completely lost.
Interrupt. That I am not particularly talking about each tourist place, and even the Golden Temple isn't a tourist place. It is a religious place for 6. I understand that, and I am talking about the festival of Lodi. Let's take the festival of Lodi. That is celebrated in Haryana and Punjab, both of them. So now in Haryana, I specifically live in Haryana. I have seen that the festival of Lodi in the last 10 years has reduced so much because the people do not want to celebrate it because of the circulation of money, you may say, or something like that. And that has also reduced the tourism because there were so many tourists that used to come just to see these festivals, and because of the charm of the festivals have reduced, the tourism has also reduced. What will you do to increase back the charm of the tourism?
I think government is doing many cultural events, right? So like promotions by expenditure will be spent. And government is also doing many cultural events for the culture and heritage, as you said, to put back in its place. So yeah, cultural events.
Okay,
And
Ganesha
what
is mute.
about-
It's okay. Now next, please, Ganesha. Ashish, you can go next.
Okay, ma'am. So I wanted to ask that there has been the tourism expenditure has increased by a lot, but it's still more. The more money has been gone for tourist hotspot like Goa and stuff like that. But what schemes have been placed for places like Lakshadweep, Andaman Nicobar Islands, and Arunachal, and what are the allocation? What are the exact money allocated for them to increase their tourism? Yeah, that was.
There are a lot of government schemes that government has introduced, such as Swadesh Darshan. It has put 1,412 crores rupees towards it. And there's also a scheme called Prashad scheme, which government has put 250 crores towards it. So there are a lot of schemes that government has introduced or is in the process of introducing.
Sakshi, please go forward with your question. We are running out of time.
Sure. I have a simple question. As you people were talking about the traditional and the sacred pilgrimage site, you will be including them in the tourism department, right? Yeah. So I would like to make a point that, for example, there's a temple in Bali and it is known as Pura Temple. And that temple is considered to be a very sacred temple by the inhabitants of that particular place. And if you'll be, according to those people, if you'll be including that temple in a tourism site, then it will completely against their, they won't be liking it, and it's their heritage. And it will be completely against their emotional values. And how can you hurt somebody's, religious and emotional sentiments in order to make it a tourism place?
So you're basically asking how that temple could be included in the tourist place, right?
Not that temple only, all the temples, like they are associated with the religious and the emotional belief of every individual of that particular community. And there are certain communities in the country itself which don't like when their religious heritage is included as a public tourism place. It is against their emotional and religious belief.
So can
Yeah, go ahead, Gavleen.
Yeah. So this is not the work of our ministry to allocate some places as tourist places. That is done by the whole government.
As I would like to add on to it, we have to spend on infrastructure already. So that's why.
And moreover, in today's world, anything which is associated with economical bias, be it of tourism or any other department, for that, advertising has to be done. Even in today's time, we see different ads of different places on the TVs and the tablets which we have. How you are going to advertise the different beautiful places of our beautiful country in order to attract the foreign tourist? How much money you will be allocating for that marketing and advertising department?
Okay, yeah, sure. as I said in our presentation, 242 crores for promotion and publicity, and we can use print media as one of the method to advertise.
But print media, it will be, it will not be
Okay,
that.
Sakshi, only one question, please.
Okay,
Nilesh,
ma'am.
please go next.
Yes, ma'am. So my question is that we all talk about the things. Sorry. Yeah. So basically, my question is that regulatory. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Making the visa, applying for visa, and all these processes, make it difficult for tourists to have a look on our country, because it actually takes a long time to process in the process of making a visa, right? So difficult visa processes keep the tourist away from some destinations, and a number of projects through tourism infrastructure segment are delayed due to non-attainment of license and approval on time. So in just I would like to it means that there's a very slow working of the internal process and the processing of the taking from the visa to the the allowing of opening hotels, the licenses and approvals, they're very delayed. So what's the take of ministry on that? How they are going to cope up with that? How they're going to assure the tourists that if they apply for visa, it's not like they will not get disappointed. They will get visa on time. All the person, like all the people who want to open maybe a hotel or resort, they will get for basically for tourists, will get it on the approval on time, the license on time. So how the Ministry of Tourism is going to. Yes. Your answer, please.
Ashmi Das, please mute yourself.
May I answer?
Yeah, sure, go on.
Basically, visa is not our department. We can take help from other ministries though, as like whole government will work on it together. So yeah, this is not our department, basically. I hope it's clear.
Any more questions?
I do have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Actually, I just wanted to ask, like, what are the provisions of your specifically ministry about the loss of tourist places, like let me say Taj Mahal or the Golden Temple, due to tourism? Because there are so many people visiting there each year, each month, which cause a lot of disruptions to the place, as well as a loss of the heritage of the place.
May I answer?
Yeah, please go forward.
So our ministry basically, what our ministry does is we work on the infrastructure of the place. And if we're talking about the loss of the heritage culture or the places, it's not done like it's because of the people and their beliefs, not because it's not our fault, like of our ministry.
Plus, we are spending 1,412 crores on this to make our infrastructure and the fact to not lose our heritage. So yeah.
Sure.
Last. Ashish,
Sure.
only last
Yeah,
question.
okay. So I just wanted to ask and say that the schemes you mentioned in my earlier question, both doesn't include the regions I mentioned. So what is your take on that?
Could you repeat your question if you don't mind?
Okay, in the recent question I asked, you told about two schemes which will increase tourism in specific areas like Lakshadweep, Andaman Nicobar Islands, and Arunachal, which are taken by our nearby countries of Maldives. The schemes you mentioned doesn't include the regions which I talked about. Yeah.
If you want to find out about our schemes, you can go to the Ministry of Tourism website and you can look at it there.
So yeah, I had gone there and I didn't saw anything related to these areas. So yeah, what is the exact money you allocated for it? You can tell about that. For what we have word hidden gems. There is a specific term used in Ministry of Tourism website.
So basically, as we earlier mentioned, I think it comes under infrastructure. So we are spending 1,412 crore approx for that.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you everyone.